Hello all. Hi. In this particular video, I just thought to tell you how you can probably prepare for an enterprise agile coach role, or rather for a team level agile coach. What is more pivotal is that though if you are actually preparing for a Scrum Master role or for an agile coach role, it is not enough only if you focus only on the frameworks like Scrum or Kanban, because we have other periphery areas which also need to be augmented in terms of the preparation. So I just thought to make this particular video to actually tell you, okay, what are all the different colors of the rainbow in terms of preparing for an agile coach role. So what I do, let me share my screen and then I will walk you through a particular post on this in my LinkedIn article. 1 minute. All right. So one second. Yeah, all right. So if you just look into this post wherein I have given 150 real-time interview question and answers, and also provide JD based coaching. Okay, if you look into the topics here, I have actually deliberately diversified that particular 150 questions, because if you are preparing for an agile coach role, we are not very clear, okay, what will be the totality of the expectation. So the first thing for any role for that matter, what we need to do is to get the JD either from the company or from the consultancy, and then go through the JD in a verbatim manner, word by word. So people talk about reading between the lines, but for you to read between the lines, one need to know at least what's been called out explicitly in the JD. So to begin with, in my particular in my mentoring session, what I have done is, like, I got formulated approximately 150 interview questions in this particular breakdown component. For example, if you're taking Scrum related questions, you will be having 30 questions, and if you go to Kanban, it will be 15 questions, so on and so forth. So I will be mentioning this particular link in the description of this particular video, so that you can just so that you can just click on the link and then get to know the diversification of the pattern. Now, we need to start preparing on the basic frameworks like a Scrum and a Kanban, and also to so as to speak more from a technical agility point of view, one need to have a good grip on the DevOps delivery pipeline. See, one point to consider here. Generally, whenever we are actually hearing the word DevOps, generally people tend to talk about Jenkins, CI/CD pipeline, Bitbucket, GitHub, Ansible script, Pom.xml, all these things are fine. But DevOps is something more than automation. Because if DevOps and the automation are similar, then why to have a separate word called a DevOps? As far as DevOps is considered, you may need to focus on culture, automation, lean flow, metrics and measurement, followed by the recovery. All these five things put together is called as a DevOps. And then you may need to definitely look into the metrics and the dashboard, because one of the 100% expected question in an interview is, what are all the metrics you have captured, be it at a team level or at a program layer or at a portfolio layer. And this is one of the question, if you really do well, no, believe me, you literally have a cutting edge or a winning edge over the other candidates. So whenever we are attending an interview, the point is that always try to see, can I create a unique selling proposition? Can I tell something which could make me as a differentiator from the mass? So because no, I have been in the panel for 6.5 years for a enterprise agile coach role. So from that perspective, I have made this particular video to echo the pulse of the interviewer. Interviewer will be looking for what metrics you have actually collected across the layers. So it is not enough if you just talk about only burn up, burn down chart of velocity, because every person will talk about velocity, right? You may need to talk about predictability, productivity, responsiveness, quality, team level metrics, program level metrics, portfolio level metrics, product space of agility related metrics, process mechanism related metrics, development team related metrics, and stakeholder engagement metrics. So in my agile mentorship program, all these things will be explained to the mentees. But in this particular video, I'm just trying to explain you what are all the different topics which you need to prepare. Okay, so we are actually pretty much done with the Scrum, Kanban, DevOps, and the metrics. Then the fifth topic is organization change management. See, like, no, it is very simple. You actually take the word agile transformation. You have an agile part, you have a transformation part. If you just read only on Scrum, Kanban, Safe, Less, DAT, Spotify, Nexus, you are only focusing on the agile part, right? Then what about the transformation part? Generally, companies recruit experienced people for a agile transformation. It is not to deal on the agile part. It is to focus on the transformation part. So in organization change management, we have multiple change management models: Platinum change, Platinum's edge change roadmap, and you have Carter's 8-step model. You have the ADKAR model. All these models need to be imbibed for you to create a customized model. And then believe me, once you say in the interview the name of these particular models, the credibility factor of your answer is getting built up, right? So you may need to focus on the organization change management model. The sixth thing is, what are all the scalable frameworks? It could be a scaled agile framework. It could be less huge. It could be Nexus. It could be Spotify, like across multiple squads. So why am I going for scalable models? Because I wanted to do horizontal scaling across multiple teams. I also wanted to do vertical scaling from the team level to the program level and a program layer and a portfolio layer. So if we really understood why am I doing what am I doing, then the how part will be taken care. Generally, I have seen in my 20 years of experience, people jump into how to do things without even understanding the why part and the what part. Why am I doing? What I need to supposed to do? If you have clarity on these two parts, then the how part can be derived later. Okay. Then dependency management, impediment tracking, and the risk management, which is the seventh topic. See, whatever be the framework or whatever be the methodology, be it a waterfall model or be it an agile driven engagement or an adaptive model, without focusing on defects, delays, dependencies, impediments, risk. Okay, let me just repeat it if you want. Defects, delays, dependencies, impediments, and risk. You cannot have sustained value in the system. No amount of SAFe framework or any other framework you are actually going to implement, without focusing on these 5 aspects, you are not going to have sustained agility in the system. So from that perspective, definitely questions will be there from an interview angle, in terms of how do you manage dependency? Do you maintain an impediment tracker? How do you measure the aging of the impediments, followed by the risk? You might as well refer to the Rome board, which is actually going to echo the resolved, owned, accepted, and mitigated risk from a program increment perspective. Then what is the difference between business agility and enterprise agility? Enterprise agility, you can also call it as an organizational agility. And what are the 5 dimensions of agility? Then how to write an RFP or an agile contracting model? Then we are actually getting to the topic of design thinking, system thinking, lean thinking, Kaizen thinking. Okay, see, because if you are an agile coach, and if you want to coach the product owners, if you want to coach the scrum masters, definitely some elements of it, touch points pertaining to design thinking, system thinking, lean thinking, and Kaizen thinking should be there. Okay, because lean and agile are 2 sides of the same coin, right? Basically, lean focuses on a removal of the waste. Of course, lean has other dimensions or aspects too, as actually experts say. But then lean predominantly focuses on a removal of the waste, whereas agile focuses on a value-driven delivery model. So, no, generally lean and agile are 2 sides of the same coin. Okay, then you get into the topic of a value stream mapping. Value stream mapping is to find out the flow efficiency. You take your business workflow, do an optimization, find the flow efficiency, active time divided by the total time into 100. Then you may need to look into product space of agility, some questions on leadership and management, how to do an outcome-based plan to do an agile transformation, how to do an assessment at team level, program layer, portfolio layer, leadership level, how to handle team dysfunctions, followed by how to, okay, how do you organize a large-scale agile transformation? When I say large-scale transformation, it is predominantly 2,000 plus people. And one of the most important thing is cultural transformation, which I have done as a phase 2. For example, once we are completed with the phase 1 part of the agile transformation, generally I actually go for phase 2, wherein we will be taking culture as a particular pillar under observation on our radar, and then we have created a custom model so as to do a cultural transformation, followed by the extreme programming engineering practices. Test-driven development, behavior-driven development, acceptance test-driven development, feature-driven development, story-driven development, domain-driven design, CI/CD pipeline, all these things, solid principles, creating a technical debt remediation plan, okay, and also creating a code refactoring mechanism, enterprise level reference architecture guidelines, and your pair followed by your pair programming. All these things come under the gamut of extreme programming, because extreme programming is so critical that my Scrum as a framework is going to talk only on the process. Unless and until you have your technical, unless and until you have a technical agility which comes from the extreme programming practice, I cannot complement that, no, because both of them complement to plug the gap. So, and some people say that DevOps is actually a glorified version of extreme programming, because unless and until I have solid practices from an extreme programming principle, I cannot just like that jump to the DevOps. So this point number 1 to 19, these are all the different topics you may need to focus if you really want to know, if you really want to clear your interview pertaining to an enterprise agile coach role. And this has been covered as part of my agile mentorship program also. So if in case you are interested, you may just ping me on WhatsApp, and the WhatsApp number will be shared in the description of the recorded, means this particular session. Okay, all the best to all. Cheers, bye.